especially Mohammad Irfan, when he used to bowl, like, didn't have much of the pace, but the bounce that he used to get from the pitch was the key of success for him. So is the case with Khalid as well.
Yeah, wasn't Mohammad Irfan so tall? I got an opportunity to face him when we toured to Dubai and played against the Pakistan squad. That's
Beautifully executed shot just for a single. So yeah, talking about more from Mohammad Irfan, I'd never have a photo with him when we two are standing. I'd rather take a photo when he's sitting and I'm standing, because that guy is really tall.
Yeah, isn't he? Like, he must be around 7 feet plus. I still see him.
Yes.
Slightly pitched up, trying to get some swing there, Dillon, but seem to have not got any movement in this post-lunch session. Love to use that wind that's blowing across the ground here at the Molpani.
Drifting down the leg, wide signaled easy decision for umpire. Yeah, with the wind moving in the pitch, Sharad, one advantage the bowler has is they get that natural movement. Sometimes you get the stop deliveries as well, mind you, because the wind's running across, not from one end of the bowling side. So that way, sometimes after it pitches, it holds on to the pitch and it becomes a lot harder as a batter to face those deliveries.
A slip and gully in place.
Great shot, crashed it past that point fielder into the boundary for 4 runs.
Bit of wit provided this time. Sher Mullah picking the gap for perfection.
Great shot. That's a typical batsman shot, you know, who is technically sound. I like that.
Yeah, need to pounce on that opportunities, those loose balls.
Yeah, that's what Canada did in their first power play. Didn't try to do anything fancy. They will lose balls on offer and they capitalized on it perfectly. A bit wide, got away with it. Maybe there was late movement after he left that crease. So a dot ball. So a final ball to be bowled in this over. Already 7 runs conceded. Sharmila is taking his time. Already smashed a boundary. He doesn't need to do anything special here. Just go along the business. Slowly just take those 1s and 2s and hit those occasional boundaries will do the job for Nepal because the target is not that massive.
And it's dropped. Chance goes begging.
That was a great delivery from Dylan. Hers was in the first slip. Outside airs into the slip cotton. He made a mess of it. So Sharmila gets life. Nepal gets life again.
So it's Amor Khalid who's gonna continue. They're playing for the first time for Team Canada in this series since their arrival. Their main bowler Kalim Sana still not fit. Right away making a mark, picking his first wicket in this tour.
And what a way to get started. The first delivery that you ball, you get the wicket, you know, the confidence goes flying off the roof.
Yeah, great start for him and for his team. As he said, he looks like a tall, high arm action bowler. He's hitting the deck, getting some movement as well. That is edged away in the third man for a single. Robbing shot off slip.
So Arjun Kamal is being very watchful. The first ball he didn't try to do anything fancy. Here also played it with very short hands. Already in 5 of 3 deliveries. Sharmila has faced 7, though he came 1 down. He has faced 10 deliveries. So most of the deliveries has been faced by Sharmila. Arjun Kamal is in non-strikers, and so that's what Nepal needs to do. Just as I've been saying, just rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking, and then you'll get loose ball every now and then. Capitalize on that. So that's what Nepal needs to do. Looking at the target, just 228 to gate, still 47.4 overs remaining. It's a long way to go.
And he's gone. Couldn't make the most of his life given in the previous over. Still practicing that cut shot.
That's what I was saying. He needs to be really watchful. Doesn't need to do anything fancy. He doesn't even need to connect every single delivery. He could have left it alone, but just teased it. Got the feather raise into the safe pair of hands. And Sharmila didn't learn from his previous mistake. Is back to the pavilion. First.
So Nepal in some trouble. 2 wickets down already. The third over, and it's Captain Jora who walks out to save his team.
A big responsibility in his shoulders. Remember, the captain of Canada was out for a knot. But Sandeep has to do just opposite of it. Nepal needs a partnership, and desperately Arjun Kumar on the other hand is watching all the dramas unfold from the non-strikers end. Khalid, well, he's fulfilling the gap of Sana very well. Already taken 2 wickets into his second over, playing for the first time. You cannot expect a better start than this. Conceded 6 runs, already 2 wickets. Ser Malla and Main already back into the pavilion. So Sandeep Johra has got a long road to go play. He has to bat as long as he can along with Arjun Kumar. He looks very
time we can see what the ball is doing in this pitch. Dillon is continuing for a second over. Oh, that's inside edge. Lucky there for Arjun.
That's what I've been talking about. Look, the ball is outside the off stump. The front foot of the batter is on off stump only. And then what he is doing is he's just playing the shot through. He's not reaching to the line of the ball where he can go about the business, even the cover drives and stuff. And just managed to get the inside out. Lucky for him, it didn't come back to the stumps.
Absolutely. Need a good technique against the moving ball and a dicey wicket to play close to your body. You cannot just throw your hands outside. You're 2 wickets down, you need to minimize the risk and play.
So there was a slight fumble. The batter were able to take a single. So one thing that I liked about the opening bowling duo of Canada is they are doing exactly what Nepal has failed to do. They are not trying to generate much pace, but their line is very subtle into that 4th to 5th stump line, just moving away from the batter, inviting batsmen to play those shots, and in the course, Sharmila happened to lose his wicket.
Yeah, they have a second slip and gully in place as well. Has a different technique, Arjun. We have seen him plays more with his hands, less of foot movement. It's worked for him in the past, but when the ball is moving, when the ballers are hitting in the good areas consistently and getting movement off the wicket, you need to be a little close to the body.
Yeah, he has to be a bit cautious at the moment because Nepal A is in deep trouble. 15 for 2 already. He has got that skill and art of playing short, as we've just seen, just bisecting the ball between those 2 fielders and offside. Nicely done.
Was pitched up by Dillon, looking for some swing, but very minimum swing there, and just timed it nicely through the covers.
Yeah, and at the moment, more than swing, Sarath, what I'm concerned about is it getting pushed away by the wind as well? Because from the direction where Dillon is bowling, the ball will be pushed away, pushed towards the batter. So that might be the reason as well. He will be very dangerous. He'll be tasted. Nice delivery. I love to see these sort of short up length balls angling into the body of the batter. It's always very hard to execute shots on that. Lots of batter tend to lose their cool and just open the face of the bat and lose the wicket. In this occasion, Arjun did well.
Yeah, he kept his hands nicely down, let the ball go away. He's pulling the length back, Dillon, hitting that back of the length area, hitting it hard on the pitch. 4th over done. Nepal is 17 for 2.
So after 4, Nepal are 17 for 2, 224 runs still needed to defeat Canada. Let me remind you, Nepal has already lost their first game against Canada, so they would love to win this game, whereas Khalid has been the biggest hurdle for Nepal so far, taking those two very important wickets. So from the end where he is bowling, the ball will be pushed away from the batter because of the wind. And Sharad, it looks like if the wind keeps on blowing this way, we might have to continue the game without the bails, because it's looking crazy out.
Yeah, could be. Well, at the moment, bails are pretty intact. Hope it doesn't fall. That's nicely punched. Well fielded in the cover.
Equally well fielded, as good as the shot was there. Yeah, we are in the com box here in Mulpani Cricket Stadium, and next to us are a couple of flags, and we can still hear the sound of the flags waving because of that very strong wind that's running across the ground.
And the reason why the wind blows so hard here is because this ground is in quite a height in Kathmandu.
Exactly, there is an altitude in this cricket ground compared to even the Tiu cricket ground. We don't get that much of wind in there, but at this time of year where spring has just approached, like being windy conditions is very anticipated in Nepal.
Yeah, so it's about the players how to use those conditions for their advantage. Being a bowling team, you would look to swing the ball using that wind, and as a batter, you would look to hit on the area where the wind is blowing.
Exactly, hit along the wind, that will give some momentum to the ball. So we have seen so many times the fours being converted into 6, and it's always very tricky, especially for the fielders, because the wind tend to take the ball away from you. You are set for a certain catch, and the wind takes it away. So it's going to be a very tricky situation if the ball's in the air.
Absolutely, it's not easy to take those catches when the wind is blowing that hard.
Imagine this wind, the batsman hits the ball, it goes towards the deep area, horizontal sort. Well, forget about catching that. So from this end, hitting towards the offside will be a lot easier. Just time the ball perfectly. I'm very sure it's going to run like a treasure bullet.
Wide signal, drifted down the leg. Pretty impressed by Khalid the way he started in this innings.
Absolutely.
Although he bowled wide this ball, but he's been very consistent with his line and length. He's been bowling in that off-stump area, not giving any width.
Exactly, and when Nepal were batting, I was downstairs and I was seeing he was doing a lot of net practice. He was just like stretching his arms and stuff. So the result you can see. So for anyone who is a pace bowler who wants to set up a career as a pace bowler, it's very important that you do your homework in nets properly. Get that arm open before the game starts, and that will give an ease when you're bowling.
Absolutely, always you need to be ready from the first ball. That's what the great Brett Lee used to say. Your first ball has to be the best ball of the innings.
When you talk about the first ball has to be the best ball of the innings, Sarad, what I remember is the debut of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, you know. The very first delivery, that out-swinging ball, getting that wicket. Like, I haven't seen a youngster opening their career for their country and bowling that effectively in the very first delivery.
A quick single taken there by Johra. He gets off the mark. It's 5 overs done. 19 for 2.
Will continue his third over. Sandeep Johra will be facing him better this time around. Open the front foot and then hit the ball towards the boundary. Nearly 4 runs. The fielder in the boundary line did well. So that's what I was talking about. When you move your front foot, your foot is angling towards where you want to play the shot. The execution is always beautiful to see, isn't it?
Absolutely. Jora taking his time early on. He's a busy player. Needs to play a captain's innings today, lead from the front. That will add up confidence to the batsman batting later on, if needed.
Nicely done. And the thing with Dylan is he hits the deck really hard. He is a very strong lad. Has got a decent height, ball high arm action, and it's not going to get that easier for the batter to score against him if he bowls in the region that he has been bowling so far in his 2 overs.
With soft hands towards the cover, another single added. Yeah, he can extract some bounce from this wicket. This Mulpani wicket is a bit different than the TU. Can get some extra bounce from these pitches.
Yeah, especially when we have seen there were tournaments back to back, a game in TU and then coming back here in Mulpani. The players actually get confused because it's very hard to read the pitch in this part of the ground, especially in Mulpani Cricket Stadium. We haven't seen much of the runs being flourished, but saying that today it was very unlike Mulpani pitch when Canada were batting first. The ball was coming beautifully towards the bat. In PM Cup when they were playing, I think the highest scoring games were 120, 130. This ground, that too was in 1 dayers. So you can imagine the curator from Bangladesh has done a tremendous job making it a battable track, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And also this ground got some rest in between after the PM Cup. There are continuous matches happening in the TU ground rather. So yeah, and also different conditions here. The wind, the tennis ball kind of bounce here in this pitch. Very sporting wicket, you can say, in this ground.
Exactly, it's a perfect wicket for a cricket game to be played because it has got a lot to offer, both for the batter and the bowlers, as well as we have, as we had seen in the first innings when Nepal were bowling. They were like the turns, the bounces, and so far when the medium paces are operating for Canada, the same thing has repeated beautifully. These guys bowled a speed in the outside airs. That's the end of the over. 3 runs conceded after 6. Nepal are 22 for 2.
A good bit of fielding there by Captain Saad, stopping a single. Bowling well this lad Khalid. Bowling so tight lines, he's not giving any width whatsoever. He's inviting the batsman to make a mistake.
And what's interesting for me is that Canada didn't go for him in the previous games. Like, he looks really promising, you know, and then he has been really consistent because playing for the first time in these conditions and bowling these deliveries are not a piece of cake.
You can see he's hitting those good length areas consistently.
Exactly, already in 3.2 overs, just conceded 8 runs and taken 2 wickets. That proves a lot about the potential of this guy.
Playing the patient game here, Sandeep. There's no rush whatsoever.
He's the kind of batter who comes under like this sort of situation quite often, and he's been one person who is very cool in head and gets his team over the line under this dire situation, but because of the winds and playing conditions and everything, I don't think things are going to get that easier for him either.
He's playing pretty well, started well, middling the ball.
Because of the target, they are being able to take their time, get up set, get your eyesight set, play your strokes. And especially for a batter, when you want to play that one particular shot, that is your strength. And if you middle it in the middle, well, the story changes in no time.
Good bit of running there. Quickly scampering for another single.
So after that, after this game, Canada will be playing one more game out. I think they'll be heading to UAE to play the Division 2 game. Remember, Nepal's already playing Division 2 game against Namibia and Netherlands at TU cricket ground. They're playing tomorrow, in fact. So things are looking pretty good after that tough defeat in the first game for Nepal. They came back really strong against a very well popular team like Netherlands. So the mindset in the dressing room must be very high with the sort of win they have generated out of nowhere after that loss.
Absolutely. All the batters are in form. The bowlers are doing well. Though the toss has been vital, but I'm sure in the first innings also if the batters apply themselves a bit more, first 10-15 overs, a good competitive game.
The wind's getting stronger now. Sharad, as the game is progressing, so that concludes the over number 7. Nepal are 23 for 2. Fourth over, wrapped in the pads, a big shout. Drifting towards leg for sure, as we can see from the com box as well.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of height as well. Wrapped him around just above the knee roll.
Yeah, the wind's definitely pushing the ball in, because Sandeep was playing in different line all the way.
And also Dillon bowls from that wide angle, comes from wide of the crease.
They're just trying to create that natural angle that a medium pacer can generate, bowling wide of the crease. As you can see, balls coming in.
You should see there's Johra indicating that bounced a little bit more.
So a lot of patience being shown by these two batters. Sandeep Johra is batting on 6 of 19 deliveries, whereas Arjun Kumar has faced 13 for his 8. So Nepal's just trying to save that wicket, going really slow, and it's the right thing to do. But I don't want the batters to be too defensive, as I was just talking about it. He made room for himself, shot up lane delivery, didn't bounce as much as the bowler would have liked, but Johra was very quick, picked the line, and another boundary and hitting towards the wind. Well, you cannot ask for more than that. It was a perfectly gifted boundary from Dillon to Sandeep Johra.
Yeah, that was just short of length and picked up nicely by Johra for his first boundary. That will add up some confidence.
Yeah, all you need to do is time the ball towards the leg side and the wind will do the rest. Another shot, beautifully timed. The fielder from mid on is rushing. The ball will win the race. Another boundary. Well, Johra is opening up.
Certainly he is. And there's some buzz in the ground as well from the crowd. Maybe 1,500, 2,000 people in here. Free entry here in the Mulpani ground. Nepal A chasing the total of 240 runs. 41. If you're around here, please come in. This is gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, and some of our viewers prefer to stay at home because they won't be able to hear Sharad Vishwagar doing commentary from here if they come to the ground.
I feel it's because of the Kathmandu traffic, Kiran.
Maybe that might have been the reason because we are in the outskirts of Kathmandu, this Mulpani cricket ground. But saying that, it's a lovely atmosphere, you know, like being very close to nature, greenery all around. It's a beautiful, beautiful stadium to play the game of cricket.
Absolutely, just beside the Gokarna forest, and in a cleared day, Kiran, you can see the Himals from here, from the media box end especially.
Yeah, that would be the view of the lifetime that you can witness. You know, when you say that, I remember when India plays in Dharamshala and you know, those Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand region, and then you could see those Himalayas, you know, beautifully shining. Same atmosphere you can get here from.
In and out.
The beauty about Glenn McGrath was, you know, his delivery used to come in your rib cage, and it's never easy for even the caliber of Sachin Tendulkar to hit those balls for boundary. That guy was a legend for me, whereas fast ball is considered. He was not very pacey, mind you, but he used to hit the deck really hard and bounce the movement and the bounce of the pitch. Well, in my era when I was following cricket, I've never seen a bowler like Glenn McGrath. He was in another level.
He was known as the pigeon. And what a battle we would see against Tendulkar and McGrath. Always interesting.
Yeah, and then like as a bowler, when you're bowling in the era where Sachin Tendulkar and Brian Lara are batting in the middle, and then you have that record, well, hats off. You can only dream about that, I guess.
Just drifted down.
Yeah, he looks a bit exhausted as well. Sarad, what do you think about that? You know, a pace bowler, you know, like doing the debut in Nepal, playing for the first time, regularly given 5 overs. You know, your body gets drained because lots of emotions comes around, lots of mental stress as well.
Yeah, at the moment, he's looking pretty good. Has done his job picking up those early 2 wickets. He's coming from Canada. Might be colder there, and maybe he's not have played many outdoor cricket at the moment.
Yeah, I've had a chat with one of my friends in Canada, and he was saying it has just stopped snowing. It didn't snow as it used to snow in previous years. He lives in Alberta, in Calgary. So the conditions are much colder compared to Nepal. So I imagine what would it be like if they have to play in summer in Nepal, because the weather is really heating up. And we see 36, 37 degrees even in Kathmandu. So, you know, that would be very challenging, and especially when they are going to UAE to play the game. Well, it's going to be a very tough job for them to maintain themselves physically fit.
It's flicked away nicely. Half chance put down. Got half a hand on it. It's running away. And creeps over the ropes. So, a 4 for Arjun.
That fielder was kept there particularly for that shot, and the bowler did well. He bowled according to the fielding position, but was lucky it was just a bit hint away from that fielder in there. He's in a bit of bother. Must have been a sprain, or maybe pushed his muscle while trying to cast that delivery. But one interesting thing, Sarad, was the ball came against the wind. The batter didn't try to hit the ball too hard, but still it reaches the boundary. That's the beauty of Mulpani, right?
Yeah, it is a fast outfield. Spot of powder there. The fielder maybe pulled a muscle while diving.
He doesn't look comfortable at all. The teammates are really concerned along with the umpire. Well, it will be a breather for everyone. So far in the game, Mayan Yadav gone for the very first delivery. Sher Mullah, after getting a live Perishus in the very next over. So Amror Khalid taking all 2 wickets. So there's a partnership building, 24-37 deliveries. Sandeep Johra doing most of the contribution, 18 of those, and Arjun Kumar playing sensibly, contributing 4 runs to that partnership. In the bowling departments, look at that, 4.4 overs, 21 dot balls, 15 runs, 2 wickets. You cannot ask for more than that in the first power play from your strike bowler. And Dillon has supported him well. What do you say?
Yeah, the game fine balance at the moment.
So everyone's falling in the field. It was the fielder first, now the batter has gone down. Well, lots of drama is unfolding in Mulpani Cricket Stadium. Alright, we'll take a short break and we'll be back after the plays are up. Okay, finally, Farah Khalid continuing. Remember, the over hasn't been bowled. A beautiful shot, crashed it between 3 fielders, rained towards the boundary. Another 4 back-to-back boundaries. So Arjun is looking dangerous.
Yeah, it's moving on now.
Is it Sandeep Johra? Yes, it is Sandeep Johra indeed. That was a beautiful shot, probably the shot of the innings, sort of the day so far. Would love to see the replay of that. It would be great.
So after an early good spell, Khalid put on some bit of pressure.
Yeah, he looks a bit exhausted as well, you know, like bowling those 5 overs regularly. That concludes the over number 9. We'll talk about that shot when we see the replay. At the moment, Nepal 41 for 2. From Canada, Captain Saad bin Jaffer has come into the attack, replacing Dillon, and Arjun Kumar will be facing him. Good ball, right on the money with the very first delivery. Arjun defended it safely. So Saad bin Jaffer hadn't had a good outing with the bat today, gone for a dock in the second delivery. Ooh, nice ball, deceived the batter, deceived the keeper, missed everyone, and it was very close to that stump as well. So Jaffer has understood the pitch very well and is bowling accordingly. Left arm spin. We've seen a lot of left arm spin. Nepal had 3. The captain himself is bowling left arm spin for Canada. So his left arm orthodox bowler is Saad Bin. Occasionally bowls those googlies. So exactly 200 runs needed for Nepal from here on. The wind's blowing hard. In the meantime, a beautiful hit shot from Arjun Kumar for another boundary. Welcome to the bowling attack, Saad Bin Jafar, says Arjun Kumar. This young lad is showing a lot of promise, and tell you what, he will surely be one of the stars of Nepalese cricket if he keeps on batting like this. A great shot indeed, in between that cover and point region, smashed it for that boundary. Glorious. One thing that's beautiful about him is he's using his feet very nicely now as his eyes are set.
Good player of spin as well, Arjun. That's the 10th over done. Nepal 46 for 2. Change of bowling. Harsh, who comes in place of Khalid. It's a spin from both ends.
That's exactly what Nepal did. They were pace bowlers operating from both ends, and I think in the last over of the power play they introduced spin for the first time. So same thing here, 10 overs, the first power play is done and dusted. Nepal have managed to score 46 runs, but